Hello, everyone. This is your reviewer for Frigid Reads. I hope everyone is having a good weekend. Now, I meant to have this posted a lot earlier. The script was written before I saw episodes 4 through 6, but it hasn't been a good week. But let's move forward, and now you get two videos. So, I find it interesting that our antagonist Carly isn't a villain, and the villains in the story aren't antagonists. Some of you might be asking, what do I mean by that? Well, Carly is the antagonist. She is opposed to Sam, our protagonist, the hero. And I'm going to want to talk more about her later, but first, let's define our terms. An antagonist is someone opposed to the protagonist, like I just said, but that doesn't necessarily make them a villain. For example, if you're telling the story of a serial killer, they're very much not a hero. And the antagonist, who is trying to catch them or avoid being killed by them, are very much not villains. For me, a villain is someone who is willing to operate outside of the law and morality for selfish reasons and doesn't care about their fellow men and women. Now, they could be crooks, Nazis, whatever. They're usually perfectly fine with hurting innocent people to achieve their goals, although they'll usually have some sort of line to give them some sort of narrative depth. Like maybe they're willing to beat people and rob them and lie, but they won't kill anybody. Maybe they're willing to kill cops and soldiers, but they won't shoot unarmed orphans. Things like that. Now, I can see some people getting ready to argue with me over Baron Zemo, but Zemo is very much a villain. We saw in Civil War, just for an example, that he's willing to commit murder, kidnapping, and a variety of other crimes to achieve his goal of ridding the world of supers. We saw that in the show as well. Now, that said, Baron Zemo is masterfully played by Spanish born actor David Brawl, so I can see how it'd be hard to keep that in mind. But Zemo, while polite and well spoken, is driven by a combination of his personal loss and a fanatical commitment to an ideology of superheroes bad. So he's willing to do both good things and terrible things to people to achieve his goals. Seriously, I can't say enough good things about Mr. Pearl's acting, and I really hope that my pronunciation is somewhere in the neighborhood of correct. That said, Zemo is a very straightforward villainous character. Now, Sharon Carter, on the other hand, something's gone wrong here. Now, when I wrote this, I was very sure she was literally or metaphorically in bed with the power broker, so that twist didn't catch me by surprise. It was weird for me, though, because for all of her protesting in episode 3, if she hadn't been snapped, one phone call to Steve gets her pardoned at any moment. And if she was snapped even then and came back, Bucky and Sam would have moved mountains to get her a pardon in Steve's name. And the rest of the Avengers would have helped, no question. So why does she choose to stay in the shadows? I'm pretty sure that she's used some variety of the serum, and I'm basing that on the fact that her behavior's changed and her combat performance. Because while she's not bending steel with her bare hands, she is tearing through dozens of armed men, some of which had to have had advanced combat training, and she does it like a tiger through raw meat. Now, given what we know of Sharon, she's a capable SHIELD agent, but she's not a member of their frontline combat units, and she's definitely not the Black Widow. So she shouldn't be able to do that, let alone do it so easily and unsupported. Plus, it seems like she intentionally downplays her combat ability while on the side of the heroes. Why would she do that if she hadn't taken the serum? If I'm right, the serum has fed her dark side and led her to choose a path with fewer restraints on her behavior. If I'm not, it begs the question of why would a woman who grew up at Peggy Carter's knee and up until now always chose to do the hard but right things make such a strange 180 in her life? Choices like that don't come out of nowhere. There's a foundation and a build up to them. And I'm really hoping we get to see that. Now, there are other things I'm going to discuss in the second video and in the written review that was posted Friday, but I hope you enjoyed this second experiment with the auto video format. These are thoughts that didn't make it into the written review, which is linked in the description. I'd love to hear your thoughts on them. And tomorrow there's another video, so I hope you enjoy that. Until then, stay safe and keep reading. Bye now.